My name is Mankey, and welcome back to another edition of 60 Super Bowls in 60 Days. We are in SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. It is Super Bowl 56 between Sean McVay and Jared Goff. Scratch that. Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, and the Los Angeles Rams versus Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow, and the Cincinnati Bengals. And this was a star-studded Super Bowl. Well, actually, not much star-studded from like the Super Bowls that I've done, but in terms of like Hall of Fame class and all kinds of stuff, these guys will be like future Hall of Famers in the coming days and months and even years, of course. But this Super Bowl was absolutely fantastic. From the halftime show with Snoop Dogg celebrating all of hip hop 50 years and all kinds of stuff, it was nostalgia even for me, even though I don't listen to hip hop as much. My dad does, but this halftime show was incredible. The game was incredible, and the Los Angeles Rams in their home stadium again, but this time not in COVID. It is 2022, so we got vaccines, we got all the good vibes coming back. Well, not much good vibes, but the sporting events being watched in full stadiums is incredible, and and seeing the Rams actually win their first Super Bowl at their home stadium is incredible. And for one player or to have a sign off like him, magnificent. Now let us to go to the stats. You notice the score. It was Rams 23, Cincinnati Bengals 20, and it was a doozy. Matthew Stafford was not the MVP, but he was integral for the Rams, in which, in case many people do not know, the last Super Bowl that I did involving the Rams was Super Bowl 53, in which I've already ranted myself, and yeah, you notice that it was a absolute crap show with Jared Goff not doing anything. And that's not to say that Jared Goff is a decent bad quarterback. He was brilliant for the Lions in those couple of few seasons. It's just that I think the Rams needed anyone to just like get them over the edge. So what did they do? They decided to make a little trade. Hey, Lions, how about I offer you Jared Goff and you give me Matthew Stafford and you can give me draft picks and all kinds of stuff. And then what if we decided to go all freaking in this year? Draft capital and draft picks be damned. We're going to go all in and trying to win this Super Bowl. This Super Bowl in front of our hometown with all our friends and family to go in. That's exactly what it did. Does it hurt their draft picks? Yeah, sure, but they managed to recuperate and produce some good players like Jared Verse, Puka Nakua, all that kind of stuff. So it's not as bad as many people think. But if you were the manager of the Rams back then, would you trade all of this for a Super Bowl ring? You would. You freaking would. Matthew Stafford was not the reason why they won the Super Bowl. He was 26 of 40 for 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Joe Burrow, 22 of 33, 263 yards, and a touchdown. And Joe Mixon decided to throw a 6-yard touchdown because why not? For the rushing, Cam Akers, 13 to 21, 1.62 a pop, and Joe Mixon from the Cincinnati Bengals, 15 carries for 32 yards at 4.8 a pop. The receiving was the main story. Not Odell Beckham Jr., who caught a touchdown with 2 catches for 52 yards and 26 a pop before his ACL broke. Yeah, literally. He literally tore his ACL in the Super Bowl. Sucks for him, of course. Nor Bryson Hopkins, 4 catches, 47 yards, 11.75 a pop. Nor Van Jefferson, 4 catches for 23 yards and 5.73 a pop. Nor Darrell Henderson, 3 catches for 43 yards and 14.33 a pop. Nor Cam Akers, 3 catches for 14 yards and 4.67 a pop. But the MVP of this Super Bowl was Mr. Cooper Kupp. 8 catches for 92 yards, 11.5, and 2 touchdowns, including the game winner. And this pretty much caps off probably the most dominant season by any receiver, not named Jerry Rice, of course. Look at these numbers. I highlighted just the 2021 numbers. And by the way, he still go on to play a couple of years with the Rams, producing some great numbers, of course. And by the way, yes, this is the Seahawks. Hold up. Okay, well, hold up. I'm just trying to. Yes, it's the Seahawks numbers, by the way. This is the Seahawks. His production in the numbers. Not as great as he was, but he still had like almost 600 yards. Like, he got only 2 touchdowns, but he was a pretty integral part to the Seahawks. And I'm going to go spoil ahead, of course, going to the Super Bowl. But 2021 Cooper Kupp was absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. Let me just read you the numbers. 145 receptions, almost 2,000 yards, 1947 to be exact, 16 touchdowns. 16 touchdowns, by the way, at a yard per gain of 114.5. In case many people do not know, there is a triple crown. And we talk about triple crown in racing or Japanese racing if you are a pretty derby fan, of course. But we need to talk about receiving. Oh, yeah. We need to talk about triple crown in receiving. In order for you to win the triple crown, you have to do pretty much the three basic things. You have to be the leader in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdown. And my God, there has been so many incredible winners. Now, of course, the recent one is Jamar Chase, who did it in 2024 in a pretty much a lost season for the Bengals, of course. Steve Smith did it. Sterling Sharp did it. The great Jerry Rice did it, of course. And Cooper Kupp in 2021. And that incredible season continued around the playoffs when he made an incredible catch against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers to oust the champions, of course. And, of course, they went on to go further in the playoffs, of course. Yeah, I know I focus most on the Super Bowl. My individual knowledge is not great, but he was the incredible reason why the Rams won the Super Bowl. And he's not alone in that standard. We'll get to the others later, but let's go to the receivers for the Bengals. Jamar Chase, 5 catches for 89 yards and 17.8 a pop. T. Higgins, 4 catches for 100 yards and 25 a pop and 2 touchdowns. And Tyler Boyd, 5 catches for 48 yards and 2.9 points. 5 catches for 48 yards and 9.6 a pop. Now the defense. And the defense, it's a major question. Mr. Aaron Donald, Pitt Panther Aaron Donald, who wanted to get his ring on his finger, and he got it. He made the crucial sack on, fourth down? I think fourth down, yes. To pretty much ice the game. And it was one of the most defining moments of his career because I think Aaron Donald's going to be in the Hall of Fame sometime soon. Maybe the College Football Hall of Fame, but the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which I'm not going to speak anything about it because of the last couple of days. But the Pro Football Hall of Fame is probably going to be where he's inducted next because his production work for the Rams alone is something to be admired. He's probably one of the most dominant defensive ends, not named Myles Garrett, in a while. And he was amazing at Super Bowl. 2 sacks and 4 tackles. But he's not alone, of course. They also brought in Von Miller because why not? 2 sacks and 2 tackles as well. So combine both Aaron Donald and Von Miller, 2 great defensive ends at the times. 4 sacks and 6 tackles. My God, Joe Burrow did not even stand a chance. And Ernest Jones get a sack and 7 tackles. Sean Robinson get a sack and 6 tackles. And Leonard Ford get a sack and 5 tackles. That is 7 sacks on Joe Burrow? Yeah, that offensive line did not help him at all. This is kind of like the last Super Bowl that I did when, the offensive line did not help the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. It's the same thing with Joe Burrow right there. The offensive line did not help even him, of course. Turns out that offensive line is pretty much the most important positions in football. Who knew? Anyways, for the other players, Darius Williams, 8 tackles, Tyler Rapp, 7 tackles, Eric Whittle, 5 tackles, David Long and Jalen Ramsey, 4 tackles. Yes, Jalen Ramsey. Greg Gaines, 3 tackles. Jesse Bates, 2nd with focusing on Cincinnati now. Jesse Bates, 2nd. Interception, 6 tackles. Chidobe Awuzie, interception and 5 tackles. Trey Henderson, and he was a pretty big beast, of course, way back when. Sack and 2 tackles. DJ Reader, sack and a tackle. Logan Wilson, 9 tackles. Sam Hubbard and Jermaine Pratt, 8 tackles. Von Bell, 7 tackles. Eli Apple, 5 tackles, but he got torched. Eli Apple got torched throughout this entire Super Bowl. I think he got torched for that touchdown, of course. I believe he got torched for that winning touchdown, of course. Let's see if you can even hear me. Mike Hilton, 4 tackles. B.J. Hill, 3 tackles. And kicking his specialties, Matt Gay, 2 for 2 on extra points. 1 for 1 on field goals. Evan McPherson, 2 for 2 on extra points and 2 for 2 on field goals. Total yards, Rams 213 to Cincinnati 305. And despite losing the turnover battle 2-0, they're still on the way on to the Super Bowl because Aaron Donald is great. Von Miller is great. Yes, Jalen Ramsey is pretty good. Cooper Kupp was amazing. Odell Beckham Jr., even though he got his ACL destroyed. Great. Cam Akers was great. Matthew Stafford was great. This entire Rams team wanted to go all in on winning the Super Bowl. And they did. And it was fantastic. And to do it at their home stadium, man, it was brilliant. And unfortunately for the Bengals, this kind of like echoes to what happened in the second San Francisco Super Bowl, in which they got their hearts ripped out on the last second by Joe Cool. Although Matthew Stafford is not even Joe Cool by the slightest, he can still ball even in today's world. Yeah, it's going to be a long time since the Bengals going to be back to even relevance. So, especially with the AFC being Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and, Josh Allen and all kinds of stuff. And the middle one that I'm going to talk about is going to be talked about twice for the next 2 days, which is, annoying, but I have to do it because, why not? So, congratulations to the Rams. Incredible Super Bowl, incredible game, incredible atmosphere. It was a wonderful Super Bowl and a wonderful thing to talk about. And they went for it, and they did it. Can't blame them. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Tomorrow will be, yes, I already spoiled ahead, the Chiefs Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. This will be Super Bowl 57, and this was a great game. But it has a really crappy ending. Probably the best Super Bowl that I'm going to watch for like the next 10 years. But the ending, oh man, the ending's going to suck. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'm recording this ahead, of course. But congratulations to myself for getting 15 subscribers. And it's been a lot of hard work and all kinds of stuff. I think maybe it's because of the thing I said about the Hall of Fame, of course. But anyways, thank you all for all that kind of stuff. And we'll see you all tomorrow.